Hey everyone. Today I share something really personal, something I face and often feel I have to handle alone. Michel Foucault, a French philosopher, talks a lot about how power and control hide in our everyday lives, even in the way we stay silent about things like mental health. In many ways, my struggle with loneliness and depression is affected by these hidden forms of control that keep me from speaking out. Let's talk about loneliness and depression, especially from a man's perspective. Loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's that deeper feeling of emotional isolation that sticks around, even when I'm surrounded by other people. For me, it often feels like no one really sees me or understands what I'm going through. Maybe you've felt this too, tried to open up, only to be met with awkward silence or the usual man up. The silence gets louder and I end up carrying the weight by myself. But where does this silence come from? Is it something put on us by others, or do we put it on ourselves? Foucault believes that power often works through unspoken rules and expectations, making us a part of our own silence. I take in these expectations, and in doing so, help isolate myself. I realize now that hiding my pain doesn't make me stronger. True strength, I think, is about facing my pain and letting myself be vulnerable. Our culture has long celebrated the idea of staying tough and not showing emotion, but is that really what makes me strong? Or is real strength about accepting that I am human and that even the strongest of us need support? Depression is often my silent companion. It doesn't always show up as tears or sadness. Sometimes it looks like anger, irritability, or just feeling numb. I try to distract myself, diving into work or hobbies just to feel something, anything. But depression keeps whispering that same lie, you're on your own. It's easy to believe when I'm always told to keep my struggles to myself. But I'm not alone, and neither are you. Depression can make me believe I'm isolated, when in reality there are many men going through the same thing. Foucault talks about the care of the self, the idea of learning to understand my own needs and take care of myself. Part of fighting the stigma around mental health is embracing this care of the self, realizing that asking for help is not a weakness, but an act of self-respect. I hide behind a mask of strength, but what if I allow myself to say I'm struggling? What if asking for help shows not weakness, but wisdom? Facing my pain and finding resilience, I learned that while I can't control everything that happens to me, I can control how I respond to it. This way of thinking teaches me to see my loneliness and depression not as something that defines me, but as part of my journey. Reflecting on this, I realize it's not easy. It takes hard work and practice. It's really important to not underestimate how much effort it takes. Every single day, it requires courage and perseverance. When I acknowledge my pain and share it, it's a powerful step forward. I might not be able to control all my emotions, but I can choose to reach out, to speak up, and to seek help. True resilience isn't about ignoring my pain, it's about facing it directly. It's about understanding that I am human and that I need others. Foucault often reminds us that our experiences are shaped by society. By choosing to share my pain, I challenge the social norms that tell me to stay silent, and I create a space for real connection and support. The people who came before us knew that humans are not meant to go through life alone. We are all connected and need each other. So how do I start to heal? First, I accept that sometimes I feel lonely and that I struggle with depression. These feelings are part of my life, but they don't have to define who I am. Acceptance is the first step toward moving forward. Next, I reach out. It's not easy. It can feel awkward or uncomfortable, but being vulnerable is what connects us. Finally, I build resilience by facing my pain instead of avoiding it. My depression and loneliness might feel like too much at times, but they're not impossible to deal with. As men, we often feel like we have to carry the weight of the world alone, but we don't have to. Real strength comes from the courage to seek connection. As Foucault says, truth is built through conversation. And it's by talking about my struggles that I break down the lies of isolation and redefine what it means to be strong. So I ask myself, and I ask you, what's stopping us from reaching out? Who can I connect with today? What small step can I take to break the silence? Because the truth is, we are not alone. Together, we can create a world where our struggles are met with understanding, compassion, and hope. What small step could you take today to connect with someone and break that silence? Thank you for taking the time to walk with me through these thoughts. Your presence, even just listening, means more than you might realize. Together, we can break the silence around loneliness and depression. If you're feeling alone, reach out. If you're struggling with depression, seek help. Let's change what it means to be strong. Let's make strength about resilience through connection with others and with ourselves.